Today I'm painting something a little bit different, a quiet, moody gray seascape. This was painted at Navarro Beach on the road to Mendocino. When we first arrived, the sun was out and I took time to scout out the location. But when we returned the next day, the weather had shifted. It was gray, cold, and windy. If you paint plein air, you learn quickly that conditions are rarely perfect. There will be days when the weather challenges you. In those moments, you have a choice: pack up and do something else, or set up and paint anyway. On this day, I chose to paint. This is what unfolded.
So we're set up at Navarro State Beach, and in front of me, the most dramatic composition I can see is this rock that has an arch formation, and I just find it to be really interesting. So I'm going to plan it out on the page here, and I'm deciding, because I know I like to go a little bit bigger, I'm gonna do both sides, but I'm thinking the rock formation is going to start here. There's so many different ways I could work it. I'm gonna do gesture drawing, and you can see the image in the corner here so you can see what I'm working with. It's not gonna be exact, but it's gonna be pretty similar. I'm gonna give myself about an hour. The horizon is here. And I thought about just sketching this with the paintbrush too. And I think I'm gonna bring the horizon line down just a little bit. Let me get my kneaded eraser. We'll clean it up a little bit as we go. So that, I like the way the rock works, and let's come down, and I think it's a little rock right there. If you move where you're sitting, you could paint this scene a bunch of different ways. I mean, there's so many different ways that I could have composed this. Over here, if I'd left more space, I could have had like trees, and unfortunately I'm not going to have any room for that. Maybe I should have. I think the story here is going to be more about there's a river that connects here to the ocean. With this particular location, it's really hard to get an angle that doesn't work. I mean, I walked up and down the beach quickly a couple days ago and everything looked interesting. So this actually, from where I'm sitting, it intersects that a little bit. So I'm gonna keep it a little bit true. There's a couple rocks on this side, but I think I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put those because I want to leave room for a nice wave. I might start with a rounded brush. I don't have a lot of color in my sky today, so my palette already has sand in it. I think I'm gonna use some of the grays that are already on my palette here. And to be honest, I don't have much going on in the sky at all, but I'm just gonna give a little bit of drama. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm more or less, I'm kind of toning some of that white off the paper. So it's definitely a cloudy day, and the spots that you're seeing here, those are actually sand. I dropped my palette in the sand right when I opened it up. The ocean is, today it's got some green hues, green and it's gray, and I'm just gonna take this nice it's kind of like a sage green. It's already on my palette, and I'm gonna try and figure out where I want white water. As we come forward, there's going to be like a little bit more warmer tones. I'm going to get those from some purple colors, but I've got some sandy hues here, some browns. These are all grays that are still on my palette, and that's one of the reasons why I rarely clean my palette. But let's use a red and tone it down. What I'm looking for is a little bit of a lavender. I'm going to grab some orange tones. I'm going to go and I'll show you what I'm working with at this point. So I've got this section that's kind of like in this area here. I'm going to be painting like the rocks, and that's really kind of more of what I'm seeing. So I'm kind of seeing from that angle all the way here and I've just got to kind of capture it. So those are kind of my base colors. Okay, I'm going to start putting in some background colors for the rocks. And they're kind of blackish, darkish rocks back there, so it'd be easier if I'd wetted this down, but okay. Now I'm starting to get some darker tones. Actually, exactly what I wanted. There's a rock in the distance beyond that, and it's cooler, so I'm going to I have to cool that color down. I'm going to grab colors for the top of the rock. I'm going to have to do this in a couple spreads. Golden tone here at the top. It's earthier. Let's do a background color. It goes a little bit more neutral. Definitely cools down on the opposite side, so I have to bring. This is cobalt blue, by the way. Okay, just to get these colors in, and then towards this, there's the rock here, and I almost wish I hadn't put it there. You know what? I might see if I can't take this rock out. Change it, I will. Might change it. But let's let that dry. But I'm getting basically the arch that I wanted. And I want to put colors in here. This is going to get warmer because it's coming closer, and I'm just going to make a medley of colors for this area. And then we'll layer on top of it. Even though it's a gray day, we've got these kinds of tones. I want to deal with this rock over here. It's kind of just going to make it kind of dark. It's like a dark brown. Nothing special. And then just walk back there. And I'll make this rock more like that. So I feel like that was kind of important in the composition. Let's see if we can't start adding in a little bit of detail, because I'm going to try and do minimal because we're just trying to capture feeling. Let's see, trying to get some kind of like dark purpley color. And that's, start drawing. That means some detail.
If you're painting outdoors in cold weather, I recommend working smaller than I did here. One helpful approach is to draw a square or a simple shape in your sketchbook and paint only within that space. Larger paintings take longer to resolve, and when you're sensitive to the cold, endurance matters. On this cold, windy day, I was fortunate that the paint dried quickly. That became an unexpected advantage. Working across a double-page spread allowed me to move around the painting, returning to areas as they dried, letting the process guide me. What's your favorite beach to paint or visit? Leave me a comment below. During my next trip to this area, I'm considering switching to oils. Would you be interested in seeing a similar subject done in oil painting? Aside to the cleanup being more, there are benefits to working in oil. Both oil and watercolor have trade-offs when painting on location.
Help me simplify so that the piece doesn't get too busy. That's good. I think we're just going to suggest color over here. Grab a little bit of color for the ocean again.
Towards the end of a painting, it's good to loosen up where possible. That's what I'm doing here. Go bold with brushstrokes and color. You'll have a more expressive result. You can even soften any hard lines at this point with a wet brush by using it to scrub the paper. On this painting trip, I only painted once because I felt like I had fatigued of the gray colors in the landscape, and I didn't want to paint another gray piece. The conditions were also even colder on the following days. We could have set up to paint in the car, and maybe I'll do that on the next trip if I have similar painting conditions. It's just that I find that the best views are available when you go out to the beach and get closer to what you actually want to paint. If you enjoy my art, please like and subscribe. You can also view more of my art, including my reverse painted glass chandeliers, on my website, floravitalights.com. Thank you for viewing, and until we meet again,